plan to add Soil Biotics organic products to your 2024 crop program. Soil Boost is a raw humate product that is broadcast applied pre-plant to help improve soil structure, maintain nutrient availability, and stimulate microbial activity. Soil Biotics PHK is a dry granular humate product using a proprietary carrier blend. It enhances the uptake of nutrients, increases water holding capacity, and enhances soil biological structure. PHK may be broadcast, used in furrow, or banded. From pre-plant soil preparation to post-harvest soil maintenance, Soil Biotics organic products are formulated to work together to provide a continuous beneficial growth environment to meet all of your organic agricultural needs. For product details, visit soilbiotics.com. The folks at Byron Seeds believe organic requires a different perspective, plan, and approach. Organic isn't simply a different type of product or even a different way of farming. It's a different way of thinking, planning, commitment. It's a different philosophy on how to feed the world. Many won't understand, but the people at Byron Seeds do. We're owned by organic dairy farmers. We not only have the product, but we plan, manage, and execute organic. We speak your language, we share your struggles, and we laud your successes. Organic isn't a way of doing business, it's a community. We learn from each other. We're in this together. We'd be glad to talk cropping plans, management systems, the road to profitability. We understand what you're trying to do. We're farmers just like you. Visit us at byronseeds.net or give us a call at 800-801-3596. And thanks to Byron Seeds.
You're listening to Rooted in Organic Podcast. I'm Mike Klein, and along with Brian Wood. Today we are in Tuskegee, Alabama, on the farm of Gregory Smith, who is a retired Army veteran and has gone back to, has an organic farm in his retirement. So thank you so much for welcoming us to your farm and for being on with us today. And can you give us a little bit of your background and your background with agriculture?
Well, my background with agriculture started as a son of a farmer. I'm the 11th child of a farmer family of 12. My father had 12 kids, 9 sons and 3 daughters. And he was a farmer here in Russell, Macon County area. So basically, I've been farming all my life. You know, I remember from the time I was 4 or 5 years old going to the field, you know, playing, picking, I'm only 60 years old, and I didn't actually pick cotton by hand, put in the bag. So not as much as my brother brag about how much they picked, but they get out there, 8 of them, tell me, oh man, we picked a whole bale a day, and that was a high accomplishment, and my goal was if I can get 50 pounds a day, I was happy, So I started in the farming, between farming and running cattle with my father, pigs, hog. I did that all my life, So being I was born here in Tuskegee, but I was raised in a little small town called Hurstboro, Alabama, and that's where I started. Out of all my brothers and sisters, I'm the only one out of that 12 that grabbed on and said, I want to be a farmer, So I never had the desire to say, I don't want to do this. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed chasing the cows when they got out. I enjoyed riding horses and doing all these things. It never was a problem with me. But I hear a lot of my family members, I can't wait to get away from this farm. And they got on, they left and went up north. And went in the military, came out, stayed up north. I went in the military at 18, did 20 years, and came back to the farm. Actually went back to the same site I was raised on, and put my house there, and started hobby farming from that point. So, and here I'm still doing it up to now. There's a lot happening between that time, but we'll talk about that as we move forward.
Mm-hmm. So as a kid,
What is the primary crops around here, and what were you growing when you were? What was your dad growing when you were a kid?
Corn, peas, watermelon, cotton. Cotton was his primary. I think corn was for the animals. The peas and okras and all that was for consumption. And I remember cucumber was one of his hot things. He was do pick a lot of cucumbers. And when I was coming along, we had 3 gins in this little small town I was in. We had 3 cotton gins in that town. And we had places where you can go and sell your cucumbers, your crop, whatever you have, you can take it by the truckload and sell it and get going. So they had a system of moving your product. You ain't had to stand on the side of the road and sell it. You can take it to the market and sell your entire crop and get your stuff and going back to the house. But that's not available these days. It's been taken away, so you only can probably, if you ain't big time cropping, you have nowhere to sell your produce.
So the way it worked back then was that you would basically raise what the family needed, and then sounds like cotton was the income stream, and then if there was any excess, that was some cream on top, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like between your meats, you would slaughter a couple of hogs, and you'll dry it, and you'll sell your hog meat during the winter. People would buy hog meat from you, your chicken eggs, chicken, whatever. So farmers was able to make a living on what they done. The crops, actually, the cotton paid the bill in the long run, but the other one fed your family, and you had a supplement. Because I remember being on the back of the truck riding around selling loads of watermelons per day for $1.50. So that was back in 70s. So when gas price was 40 cents a gallon. So you sell watermelons, you 50 cents or $1, you moving pretty good. So yeah.
And so when you left for the Army, then the farming never quite left you. Is that the way to put it? Like you always had this connection to your farming background while you were in the military?
Yeah. I think I was into it all through high school. My daddy wasn't farming no more. Once all the kids left, all his labor left. So he didn't have that labor anymore. So I'm the baby. I was the knee baby. There's one brother left after me. It was just 4 of us that was there after all my brothers left off after 75. In 75, my next oldest brother graduated from high school. After that, my father wasn't really cotton farming anymore. He was pilling around with it, but he wasn't cotton farming. And so we was basically then he had started taking on normal jobs. But once I got out of high school, I had horses and stuff. So when I started chasing the girls, I imagine he sold my horse and got rid of all that stuff. Like, you ain't riding these horses no more, man. So he sold my horse, but I started chasing the girls and got a little car, so.
More efficient.
Yeah. So when I joined the Army at 18, and I came back home after my first enlistment. Before my first enlistment up, I came home. I wanted to see whether I was going to stay in the Army. So I came back home, and it was like, nah, I can't make a living here, So I re-up and stayed in. I re-up for 6 years. So at the end of 6 years, I was coming along right around 10 years in the military. And I said, well, let me go look again, see what my choices are. So I came back and was in this area again. And I was like, well, I got 10 years left for military. So what I started homesteading on my family property then. So I put my house up, and me and my wife agreed that, listen, we'll go ahead and start preparing for retirement. It was 10 years out. And I don't want to be moving my kids every 2 years for the military. So I moved family back home on the family property then, and started hobby farming. But I was basically just playing with horses. Got into the Tennessee walking horse business and want to show horses and stuff like that. So they was doing the upkeep. I come home on every other week or something like that and do my thing, and started doing that. So for the next 10 years, the military moved me all over the place, but I was trying to just homestead and prep myself, buying my equipment, buying my trailers and tractors, because I didn't really know what I was going to do. But I know in the military they used to ask you a lot what you plan on doing once you retire, your retirement plan. And I said, man, my goal is I want to return back to my family farm, and I want to sell watermelons under the pecan tree out in my yard. And we had like 7 big giant pecan trees that made pretty good pecans. And so after I retired, I actually moved back home. I didn't grow the watermelon. I went to the farmer's market and bought me a truckload of watermelon and parked my truck right out in front of my old family house used to sit, and started pushing watermelon. I ride around, sell a little bit, and come back, park the truck, leave it down. People, as they pass, they'll stop and buy a watermelon from me. They'll call me, you got some more watermelon? So I had to fulfill that initial goal. So it wasn't until maybe about 2000, I retired in 2002 from the military. So right around 2008, my wife got diagnosed with breast cancer. And then that's when it went, whoa, I shift. So I kind of shift from just playing with the horses and this here to start the gardening, because I was like, we got to eat better. I got to know I'm going to save us with food, so we're going to eat better. So I started to growing little crops and making food and doing this here. And I just evolved from that, And so from 2008 and I think 2011 when she passed with breast cancer, and so I wasn't playing with the cattle and stuff like that. I still was tinkering around with the farm. But fast forward past that, I remarried, and I was like, hey, listen, we're gonna do this farm thing, but we're gonna make the farm feeders, and what we don't do with the other, we'll sell the foods, but we want to sell good food, no pesticide, no plant, no this here. You got to be good food. And I wasn't thinking organic, but I'm just saying I'm gonna raise it the way my father raised his garden, the horse manure, the chicken manure. I go and harvest that, go out to the pasture room. I had a few cows, and I put all that in my garden and stuff and started creating that and grew some pretty good crops, And so that's what shifted me to that. And so it went from there until people started asking for this. And like people show up, they always ask me, you grow this or you went and got it from the farmer's market? Because everybody else just going to a farmer's market and buying it and come back and selling it to us on the street. I'm like, no, everything I grew. And this grew organic right here, And then I had a stuff on one of my Facebook page, and it was talking about I grow organic crop this here. And one of the organic certified people came and said, you can't use that organic. You can't say you organic unless you certified and this here and this here and this here. And I'm like, what the hell? You can't tell me what. But I said, I know what I'm doing, And so, but I said, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it official, and I go ahead and turn my farm to organic, So I transitioned it, but I wanted to focus on the meats, because people, I think they eat more meat than vegetables anyway. At one point, you go to the restaurant, you got the meat and you got potatoes and maybe one little piece of green, but the meat was the main course.
Get
right?
pushed off to the side, right?
Yeah. They're just there for decoration. They just want the meat, and so I said, well, let me try it, and I started looking for organic farmers, beef farmers, and there wasn't any, So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and so I just started transitioning into organic beef. And that's what I'm focusing on right now.
Mm-hmm. What kind of breed of beef do you have?
Well, I got I run a commercial grade, but my main bull was Angus, but I went from Angus to Brangus.
Okay.
But now I'm adding Wagyu, so I would have a F1 Wagyu beef, organic certified, F1 Wagyu. That even sound good. I think that might be something that might catch on.
It is good.
You done had some Wagyu beef?
Yeah.
I have, and I ain't never had any yet. I can't afford it.
It's well, okay. So the American Wagyu is 50% Angus or something, and 50% Wagyu. The full Wagyu, the Japanese Wagyu, it's just eating fat with a little bit of meat in it, but it is delicious. I've had the American Wagyu ribeye that my friend who was on, Joe Schleba, was on. He's kind of the steak grilling king. So he gave me one, and I forgot I had it, and it was in the freezer for a while. Thing was still delicious. So.
Well, he just aged some more.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's all it did. It's wet age. It's wet age, so.
But a Wagyu grows really slow.
They do.
How long do you think, being your grass-fed, how long do you think you'll have to take them till you butcher them?
Man, but see, I'm crossing them. I'm crossing the babies with Brangus, which is a big cow. So I'm hoping that boosts, and most of my mama cows are Angus and Brangus cross. So they are long-legged cows, but they carry a lot of weight. So if I can get them up to 24 to 36 months, that I should have about 12 to 1,500 pound cockers. So that should pull me 800 pounds per beef, I hope, And I got good grass. I can get good grass. If I can get my farm to give me some good grass, I think I can grow out some pretty good meat, without adding all the grains and all this stuff, because I like to focus on grass-fed also.
What can you grow for grass down here in Alabama? Bermuda,
Bahel, pretty much any grass. You got some that are not too heat tolerant because the heat get pretty rough, but Bahel and Bermuda grass are on pretty good. But I've been looking at some other grass. They got this, they call it the West Plain, like a buffalo grass they got out west. I'm gonna try to get some of that if I can find some in a organic posture. So I do that.
So you started off from a health aspect, but have it really expanded now into not only for yourself, but also selling to people. What made you want to sell to people?
It's still the health part.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, my first wife had cancer. My second wife is dealing with cancer as we speak right now. And it's a possibility the next 3 to 5 days she'll pass on. And sorry. I blame that on food. I blame it 100% on food. Whatever we going into our system. So I'm on a mission to educate people in my circle or attached to my circle about food, period. You look at me now, I weigh 190 pounds. In April, I was 220. I normally be 230, 240 pounds. And it's about food, period. So when my wife's cancer returned, we decided we was going to go alkaline. So my farm became very important. So everything we was eating was grown here on the farm. And then in May, when the cancer came back, it came back and it was in her stomach. And the doctors said, we can't cure it, but we can treat it. And at this point, my wife was, she had thought the holding fluid and all this stuff. Her cancer number was up in the 200s, real high. And we went alkaline, hard, real hard. She went back 5 weeks later. Her number dropped from eating alkaline and eating organic raised foods here from our farm. And we said we ain't gonna. We wouldn't eat no outside meat. I had no meat, some chicken from the farm. We ate very small amount of meats, but her numbers went to the double digit, down in under 20. Yeah, I think it was 118 or something like that. No, it was, yeah, 80, 89 or something. Numbers. The doctor was like, "What you doing? Whatever you doing, keep doing it. Whatever." Then we found some medicine. So again, I don't know if the medicine didn't match up, but the alkaline and the food we was eating from the farm pushed her numbers back down. You know, but it's kind of like when you thought they're doing good, feeling good, you kind of like, well, okay, I can go have this here, and I can go eat this now. You know, I can go relax at a restaurant, but you have to, you know, stay on course. But the thing is, my mission right now is to grow a food the way that my father grew his food and his cattle, because the corn he fed his cows with corn he grew, you know, and he didn't go buy feed from nobody. He grew it, and that's what he fed. Yeah, he did put fertilizer, but spraying them with Roundup and all that, he never did. His Roundup was us and them damn hoes clearing them rows, you know. He cultivating, that was his Roundup, you know, and we had to probably chop it a couple times till it get about yay high till he can throw some dirt around it, and then we was good to go, you know. But we was out there. I remember them days, you know, chopping acres of cotton, you know. I mean, not cotton, but corn. Well, shit, we chopped the cotton too, you know, because he didn't spray. He was organic, and so that's my mission. So it's a hard transition. There's a lot of things that I'm dealing with, but I eat that way. I'm on hunt. I can't find enough food to eat to put weight on me, because when you eat good food, you ain't finna gain no weight. Your body gonna just maintain, you know. And so I'm weighing what I weighed when I was 20. I was in 85. How old was I? 23, 22, wow. 23. I was 189 pounds in August of 85, and I'm 191 pounds now. Wow. Yeah, and that ain't normal. You know, all my friends are 300 pounds, 250, 275, 300 pounds with beer guts, you know, and I'm cutting belts, you know, trying to make my belt fit, keep my britches up, you know. So,
well, your journey with cancer. My wife was diagnosed with cancer in 2021, with really not much chance. And she did surgery and then just did it with diet. And from 3 to 18 months to live to being almost 3 years later and doing great. She's along with us on the trip. I wish she was here, because you're talking her language, and her mission is the exact same as yours, like educate people on the power of food.
It's food, man.
Because when you look at what's happening in our health care, nobody is talking about what we're consuming. And when you go to a restaurant to eat, like, you can't find anything that's healthy unless you go to a big city, really. You know, I live in rural Ohio. There is nothing out there that's nearly as good or as healthy as the stuff that I raise myself.
You can't even taste it, be honest with you, man. You sit there and be like, what the hell?
You get a tomato slice and it's got the texture of an apple. No, that's not a tomato.
I go out, and that's what I like about being on my farm. I can go out in the yard and just grab something and throw it in my mouth. I ain't got to run in the house and wash it. You know, I can knock it on my shirt if it got some dirt on it. You know, I know I ain't sprayed nothing on it. You know what I'm saying? And once I buy one pack of seeds, I might not need to say this, but once I buy one pack of seeds, I ain't got to buy no more, because I'm harvesting my own seed. You know, and so, and I keep them, and I replant, and I regrow them, and they don't stun out. They keep moving. So I try to find what they call the word. It ain't. But they ain't been genetically modified, you know.
Heirlooms.
Yep. Heirlooms, and that's what I kind of stick with, though. I tried to do some squash. I couldn't get them to work for me. So I figured that out this year. I hang them on a rope or somewhere, and maybe I let them dry in the air. They make a whole lot for me.
What are you primarily growing for vegetables then?
Well, my main crop here is okra. I love growing okra. I'm pretty good at it. But okra, field peas, squash, zucchini, collards, turnips, mustard. You can see the mustards. I got mustards out galore out in the field. Those are my primary crop. and of course cucumbers. But then my money crops are my watermelons. You know, I like doing them.
Do you sell those out of the back of the truck?
I don't have to now since
Okay.
I built a store right here in front of my house, a farmer's market store I call it. But yeah, I used to go pick up a load, and I don't ride around, but I pick up a load and I park it out here and put up a sign, and people will come in before I put this building here, and they're still buying from me, you know. So I thought the growing them, which is it's a lot more work because I had to fight the deers off. I got to fight the hogs off. You know.
Oh, I bet hogs would love watermelon.
Oh man, they'll wear you. The hogs, coyotes, possums, everybody wants your stuff. my father used to say, just remember to plant enough for everybody. You know, I'm like, what you mean, man? What you mean? Now I know exactly what he means. Plant enough for everybody else, all the wildlife. You know, so you need 100, plant 1,000. You know, if you need to harvest 100 to fill your order, you need to plant 1,000. Maybe you can harvest 100 about it there.
Wow.
You know.
Well, you could just do some hunting and get some bacon to sell with
See,
the watermelon.
people don't hunt no more. They don't hunt for food. They hunt for trophy. You know, and the wild hog is so invasive. I don't know if you got them up in Ohio, but
No,
down here they so
we don't.
invasive, man. I killed on my farm right here. I slaughtered like 48 of them this year. I caught them in a trap, and within
kidding.
and so three weeks to a month later, a whole nother sounder out there.
Wow.
A whole nother sounder. So now I got to reset and get them again. So it's so many. It's so many.
I would love to go hog hunting sometime.
Man, whenever you want to come back, bring you and your whole crew, and we'll set up there. And won't no landowner fight you about hunting hogs on this land.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would be.
He'd be like, please do it. Just don't shoot my deer. You know, don't shoot my deer, but you can kill every hog you want with no problem.
What kind of damage are they doing outside of eating the crop?
Well, I could have showed you right down here in my yard. They right here in my yard right there, where they just root up your crop, or tear up your property, put mud holes in it. You know, it's almost become unserviceable. Unserviceable. It's horrible.
And do they have any natural predators?
No.
So the only thing that's going to kill them is somebody shooting them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there's not nearly enough people doing that.
Nope. They give you a grant for a crap. As a farmer or a landowner can get a crap to crap them. But I mean, you be crapping every day. That become your job. I would think about, hell, I might turn into a side hustle. You know, set it up. Hey man, I move your hogs for you, $20 a head. You know, 'cause hell, I'm snatching up. You know, one sounder. You know, might come up 30 hogs in a sounder. You know, $20 a head. That's a pretty good payday.
And you do have the military to shoot, background in the military.
Oh,
you know
man.
how to shoot.
Oh yeah, I'm an expert shooter, man. I was an infantryman. Shooting ain't the problem, but you can't get enough of them shooting. You got to have a silencer, because once you shoot one, you might
They're
can get
gone,
two.
yeah.
You might can get two off, you know, because they rockets, man. They be on it, you know. I usually can get two. If I catch them out of my place, I can get two if I get to where I know they're gonna come back to. Because they usually go back where they came, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of like try to get them to a certain point and then pop them, because I know if they going this way, they going to still try to turn around and get back to where they going. So I probably can get another one off, you know.
But that's not enough when you got
Ain't
30,
enough.
40 of them.
I want to catch 30. I want to catch the whole pack of them, so I don't even shoot at them if I'm planning on trapping pretty soon, because I don't want
Okay.
I don't want to spook them.
What kind of, do you have a big old cage trap that'll drop then?
I got a net trap. The trap that I have is, I set it up and I prep them. I put the corn in there and let them just crawl up under there and eat all they want, and they get used to going up under the net. I got it about 13 inches or 12 inches off the ground, so they just crawled up under. They used the net, crawled up under. And so when I get ready to get them, I set it, put it down and set it. Now they still just gonna stick their nose and go up under there. Once they go up under there, they can't get back out. So I can catch every one that decide to stick his head up under there. I go out there the next morning, 15, 20, 30.
So it's like a gill net.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding! I didn't know that existed.
Yeah. It's bad, man. That one dropping, you got to sit there and watch the camera. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't got time for that. Mm-hmm. If I know he out there, I know they there. I done put the camera up and I know they coming in there. I just know when I go that morning, if they came that night, they there. They ain't there, I just turn around, going back to the house. If I baited them and they started to eat my feed, they coming back. Mm-hmm. And so once I catch 30, I pop, reset it. A couple days later, 3 or 4 more beating and crawl his butt up in there. But I just want to put the camera to trying to get a number on how many in that sounder. Mm-hmm. So if I know I didn't count it on my camera, so okay, it's about 30 of them. I know when I got every one of them.
Okay, because you're trying to wipe out the whole.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a whole sound. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So when I pull up to my net, I'm coming cocked and ready because they started hitting that sucker trying to get out, and I want to pop them before they. I want to make it. Everybody say, "What? We don't want to make them suffer." I don't care. They make me suffer. I want to shoot him in his head, but he moved his head and got hit in the chest. He hollering, but.
Once you have them and everything, now if you process them, what do you do with the meat?
Okay, I don't do pork at all. I don't do pork. Now, what I do, I put on my Facebook page, whatever, I'm crapping hogs. If you want a hog, you can get him all you want for free. No problem. If I process them for you, it's $100 a hog.
Mm-hmm. Because you're allowed to charge for the processing, you can't sell the meat, right?
Yeah, can't sell the meat. Okay. I give you all the hogs you want, but you want me to process it, I process for the hog. If they don't come and get them, I just take them across the back part of my property and just throw them in a pile and let the buzzard feast on them.
A little something for everybody.
Hey,
right?
I'm gonna feed everybody. A little something for everybody. Flat enough for everybody.
Is there a crop that they like better than any other crop? Or do they just not care? They'll eat anything?
I think they like my organic crop better than they like anybody else's damn crop. My deers, I put up a fence. I had net all the way up 7, 8 feet. They jumped into it to get into my cornfield. And guys right down the street got corn where they done sprayed, and there ain't no hogs out there messing with it. So
it comes back to the food they're eating too.
They know that ain't worth eating. They'll eat it, but they know I don't want that. I want yours. I can smell that corn. I know it's good. And they will wipe me out if I don't put fences in.
Really?
Yeah, wipe me out. Because I don't plant about 1 acre, 2 acres. I can't plant enough for everybody. I'm just planting enough for my cows. I ain't trying to, plant 40 acres of corn and now I got to do all that. So these guys around here, they'll plant peanuts and everything. And I'm saying, how the hogs not eating your stuff? Oh, it's chemical. They don't want it. They don't want it. It's bad when you give a peanut and they tell you don't even eat this peanut.
When a pig tells you you're not going to eat the peanut.
Yeah. Then the government, the corn they plant, they ain't planting that for consumption. They plant it for other oil and all that crap, but they know it's full of crap. Mm-hmm. And they just giving it to us. Like you said, you go to the doctor now and you talk about nutrition, they just want to medicate you, give you some stuff. You read the doggone side effect, and the list is longer than the ingredients on what they got in it. It gonna this, King called death. Dude, I'm already dying.
Yeah. And
what you giving me gonna kill me. But people like, if you got to a situation, how you think you got there? What you put in your belly? If you 400 pounds, 300 pounds, how you think you 300 pounds? Oh, my what the name of the thing that caused you
the thyroid?
My thyroid messed up. No, buddy. Your thyroid ain't nothing wrong with your damn thyroid. I'm screwing my language, but your butt roared in that table. That's what got you. I tell them, do some pushback. What you at? Push your ass back from the table.
That's a new workout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pushback, man. But now they want to just, and I love food. I like taking cruises because they got a lot of food on this ship. So I love food. But now I be on there like, I want to see your vegetarian menu. I want to see your vegan menu. And I'm going to eat up everything, but I ain't eating your garbage. I know it ain't certified. I know it ain't organic, but I know it probably ain't bad for me as the other stuff. But I love good food. I understand. But there's a discipline you got to have that most people do not have.
Doesn't it get hard? One thing I've noticed as I've gotten, Mike raises beef and I get it for my house, and I know people that have produce and I get it for my house. And once you start eating that good food and then you go somewhere, it makes it hard to enjoy it.
Man, you would. Ooh,
there is no better meal than at home, right?
Don't it piss you off? You done sit here and you got a ticket sitting here for $80 for two plates for two people, and you sit here going, this garbage. I be telling let me talk to the chef, man, where you get your food from? Here's my business card. You need to order your stuff from me because this stuff horrible. I taste your seasoning, but I don't taste your vegetable. I want to taste your vegetable. I can eat my vegetable. I ain't got to put nothing but a little salt and a little pepper in, and it's good. Could steam it and be like, I'm good. But you go out here, you got to add this and add this. My beef, it don't taste like that crap, And I ain't, even though we back in the day, we never did slaughter our own cows back in the day. Chicken and hogs was the key meat. So I wasn't used to what beef tastes like, besides what you buy from the store. So when I had my first piece of beef, and me and my wife was sitting at the table like, what the hell? We was eating a lot of deer meat and venison, but we eating this beef, we like, shit's good. You ain't got to add nothing to it. It's good.
A little bit of salt when I grill a steak, a little bit of salt and black pepper is all you need.
That's it. And don't let it have now mine don't have a lot of fat in them, but don't let it have no juice going around. And when you didn't let it age, you wouldn't know how to act. You can refrigerate age it that you want, or you can set it in the refrigerator for about a week. Put it in a Ziploc, set it in there for about a week, and let it age for about a week, man. You be, good Lord. So, yeah. So.
There's very few things for me, because I love cows. And I love raising the grass-fed beef. There's very few things as satisfying as a fresh steak off of a beef that you raised. I mean, it's just, you can't beat it. And I believe that the stuff that I raise will taste better for me than it will for anybody else, because
you did it.
I did it. I know what went into it, so the energies or whatever you want to call it. But there's something about raising your own food that brings a satisfaction beyond the health or the flavor of the crop. And I think everybody should do that just for the satisfaction that it brings.
Oh, they should order it from me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the next best thing is ordering it from you, right?
Yeah. Order from me. You don't want to do it, order from me, and I'll make sure you have it. But yeah, it's just I got I gave out a yellow squash. I got all the zucchini and everything, but I gave out a yellow squash. And so I was somewhere and I picked up some from a market up in Birmingham, Alabama. And so I cooked them and I was eating them. I'm like, nope, this been shipped in. It's been shipped in. The skin don't even break down like it's supposed to, But with mine, it's yellow. It breaks down. It's just a big difference, And it's hard, like you say, it's hard when you ate quality farm-raised food. It is a lot hard for you to go out and eat and be happy with what you eat.
Well, that's the disappointing thing when my wife is an amazing cook and she does most of the cooking. So she's the one that wants to go out to eat, because obviously I don't, because I get a better meal at home. But, I get it that she wants to go out to eat. But so many times you're just buying a product that came off of whatever delivery truck from who knows where that is over-seasoned and overpriced for the quality. And it's just, I don't want to be a food snob, but I clearly have become a food snob. And it's not, I didn't become a food snob by buying expensive food. Mm-hmm. I became a food snob by raising your own food, and then you learn what good food is.
Yeah, I was just telling a friend this morning, they were like, asked me that I wanted something to eat. I'm like, I'm good. You know, but I was telling her, I said, but, you know, I don't eat this. And I don't eat this. I said, I hate sounding like that because I remember when people used to tell me, they just tell me, I said, what's your problem? What you don't eat, man? You know. So I'm kind of like get it now. I'm like, I said, I asked, what kind of bread? I don't have that the white bread, the light bread. I'm like, I said, I don't eat light bread. You got some whole grain that is unbleached in this? No. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm going to have to show you what kind of bread it is. So I go buy the spelt bread, spelt flour, stuff like that. It don't, it's acquired taste. You have to break yourself off from that. But I hadn't ate normal white bread out the store in forever because, it's like four tablespoons of sugar in one slice of that bread. It ain't nothing but sugar. And so I'm wondering, everybody like, I don't know why I'm so fat. You eating bread? I don't eat bread. And I'm like, I eat fruits and nuts and vegetables. You ain't finna gain no weight from that. Not no fat anyway. You ain't gonna gain no fat. So if I want to gain 10 pounds of fat, I can go buy 2 loaves of bread and some rolls. In a week, I guarantee you, I can put on 10 pounds.
And it gets on way quicker than it leaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because once it leaves, it wants to bring buddies along back.
Yeah.
If you go
come
off
back twice. Yeah. So I can put on 10 pounds, but I'm like, I'm good. Y'all don't. Everybody using me as this big, broady guy. That ain't me no more. I can still run. I'm 60 years old. I still beat my grandkids running. I can work all day. I can carry loads. I can cut and don't breathe hard when I do it. So I feel kind of good about that. I ain't saying something won't happen and my system break down, but I'm just saying right now, I feel I'm in great shape because I have totally focused on the way I eat, and I'm not going to eat too crazy outside of what I can't produce.
Now, when talking about what you eat, do you have are you really strict about portion control then as well, or do you?
Well, once you start to eliminating certain foods, your stomach fall back to what it's supposed to be, the size of your fist. It's about the size of your stomach. And it don't take much to fill that up. You see what I'm saying? But when you constantly packing, he's stressed and he's staying like this. Then he got food in it anyway. Then you go eat some more. Then he got some more food in there. Then you go eat some more. Then he got some more food in there. Yep. And so it takes the food you eat this morning take 24 hours to process. To get out the system. So if you eat some crap that ain't good for you, it's just gonna sit there, and then you go put something on top of it. By the time it moved to one chain, you got some more on top of it. So now you got 24 hours here, 4 hours later, lunch, because you ate at 8, then you eat at 12. Now you got 24 more hours. So your system never stopped pumping. It's constantly trying to digest crap. So what it doing? It's digesting and storing it in your butt, up under your arm, under your cheek. So everywhere you go, it's just storing everything up. So
I had a little bit of a health scare about 6 weeks ago, and I really changed my diet. I went pretty strict, not vegan, but no meat for the first week. That first 5 days,
hard, ain't it?
I could have eaten a wheelbarrow of salad, and I was still hungry.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, after a week, I could eat a little bit, and I honestly feel better. I'm also not drinking.
Yeah. 7 days, you get used to it. 21 days, you'll forget about everything else. If you can make it to 21 days on whatever you're trying, it don't matter what. If it's on savings, if it's on investing, if it's on being healthy, not drinking, if you can get 21 days of not doing something, it become a habit. You see, that's like you said, that first week, you like, man, man, I'm starving. You just sat it in there. And then all of a sudden now, you spoonful, little bowl, pew, I'm back. I'm good. I can walk in the house and feel like I'm starving. I grab a banana, grab me some out the fridge, a little bowl, eat banana, grab me an apple and walk out the door. I'm good. Long as I don't do nothing too doggone strange, but I keep a emergency pack in my vehicle, So I always got some energy nuts or some raisins and stuff like that around, So when I do go out there and exert myself, I got to go chase a cow or a goat jump out, and I'm got to run behind them for 30 minutes. I got to go recharge.
And I think there's another thing too in the food that like the commercialized food. What I'm thinking of Cheetos, Doritos, those kinds of things where once you're, like you're saying, in that 7 days, say you go 7 days, you eat real well, and then you kind of get that out of your system and you go back, I ate real well for a week and I can cheat and have a Dorito. And it's like having drugs or something. It's like your body memorizes it and it's just like,
but then resists it.
Yeah. But then once you hit that month part, your body forgets. And then you have it and it's like,
it's too salty.
Yeah.
It's too salty.
This is terrible.
It's too sweet. Yeah. Because over Thanksgiving, my wife in the hospital. I mean, over Christmas, she was in the hospital. So my daughter was prepping me food, and I already be like, so I go look, and I'm sitting here, I've been going all day, and I'm like, I'm starved. So I'm used to when I come home, my wife know what I eat. So I ain't got to even question it too much. But my daughter, she here with me right now, so she done fix something like, what you doing? But Daddy, you can stand and put on a couple pounds. No, God done it. She done bring me a plate from a family member, but I ain't ate nothing now, so I'm gonna eat it. Okay, I can make this my cheat day. I'm gonna just eat this. Oh my God, I thought I was gonna die. I mean, everything was just. I was like, oh no, the potatoes. No, what it was. Some dressing, a turkey wing, some more macaroni and cheese, just stuff, the normal Thanksgiving meals. Southern Thanksgiving meal. I don't know what y'all guys eat up there. You looking at me like, what's Thanksgiving meal, dog? No, a Southern Thanksgiving meal, Christmas meal, and man. It had me. I ain't tell her yet. Don't you ever leave. I thought I had food poisoning. I had to go find me an Alka-Seltzer to try to get it out of my system. So I like no. And then it clogs me up for about 2 days. And I'm a regular. I'm a twice a day. I go. I pass through twice a day, and the thing clogged me up for like 2 days. I'm like, oh God. So I didn't got my body to be happy. It's just like you putting 83 octane gas in your car, then you go put some 87 or whatever that cheaper brand in there, and you feel your car like sluggish or don't want to jump. That's how it had me, So.
But I think for me, it was getting to that whatever mark it is, 21 days or whatever, where I was so excited, you know what, I'm going to just eat this. And then when you eat a couple bites, you're like, why was I excited for that? Because it's not even good.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah.
Throw it out the window. That's just how it works. So, and the 21-day thing, it's a military term. Most of the shortest period of a military school would be 21 days, 3 weeks. So after 3 weeks, it's become a pattern, Yeah. So you can go through 3 weeks. You continue.
So I need to run and cold tub every day for 21 days until it won't suck.
I don't know about the running part, man, because I did it for 20 years and I hated every damn step.
I always say, why are you running? Only way I like to run is after a pot of gold or if something's chasing me.
Well, and we used to always, that was our excuse for not liking running. I'm hard, I'm infantry, I'm airborne. I don't run from a fight. I ain't running from no fight, but you're going to run from artillery coming at your ass. So,
I bet.
So you want to get out of that. You want to get out of that 1,000 meter grid, because that round can clear 1,000 meters. So you running, but you sprint. We don't teach you to sprint in the Army, but we give you the condition, because when you got packs on you and the weapons on you and all that crap on you, and you just got to run from here across that road, you win it. If you out of shape, you ain't gonna even make it. And then you got to you can't just, if I'm running from here 100 yards, let's say I'm gonna run 100 yards with full gear, and I'm out of shape, and I get to where I got to get to start suppressing fire. How can I suppress fire? And I can't shoot. I ain't hit nothing. I'm out of shape. So we run we run 2-3 miles so that we can sprint 50 yards and still have our cognitive skills to sit there and shoot a target. So it's a training we do. We do a 12-mile road march. You got like 3 hours or something like that to do it. Walk 12 miles, full gear, 12 miles. And then when you come cross the finish line, soon as you come across the finish line, you got to disassemble your weapon. You got 2 minutes to disassemble your weapon, get it inspected, then put it back together. And then immediately from there, you got to go and do determine a distance. So soon you cross the line. So as you running, because them 3 miles, 12 miles in 3 hours is footing it. And so when you hit that line, you ain't got many minutes to get across there and go ahead and get ready for that next task. So it's the running just get you conditioned. So I said, man, you're gonna make me. We had to do a 2-mile test in the military, but we run for PT 5 and 6 miles a day. Man, I ain't like running. I had to convince myself that it was okay.
Farming sounds a lot more fun than running like that.
It does. Because farming, I can take a slow pace, but just be consistent. Just be consistent. But I got a lot of things happening with you. You got the weather. You can get. I done got flooded out, washed out, plant a crop, and I planted today and it rained for 3 days straight. Nothing come up. Everything beat down. Go out. So. So you got to watch everything. You be like, what the weather look like? I need this stuff to be up before the weather comes. So a lot of time I start my seeds so I can just go out there and just put them in the ground so I won't be a head start, because that seed sometimes just don't do right for you. Yeah.
So outside, one thing we were talking about before we started was just kind of the history of the area here. And so you started farming partially because of your background and you enjoyed it, but also the way you're farming, you are farming this way because you said there's nobody else around here that's farming the way you are, as far as no chemicals, no.
Yeah, most people, they might be doing a little spraying. I can't say nobody, because there's quite a few guys, that old school guys, that still, farm the way they parents farm.
And I'm thinking you had said something about it was primarily on the meat side.
On the meat, no. There's no one doing what I'm doing here. No one. Everybody asks me why. The farmers, I'm on the farm service committee for the area, for the USDA, and I'm part of the farm service committee. So everybody like, why organic? Why? I'm like, but cause, man, And same story I told you guys why, but they like, it's a money crop. They raise their cattle. They want to get a calf out. They want to set them at 6 months, 6 to 9 months. They want to sell that calf. They want that calf to hit, 500 pounds, 600 pounds in that period of time. So they just want to rush food in him, rush whatever they can give him to get him sold per weight. And because they don't care they ain't planning on eating him, and they don't care what happened to him. They just want him to come out fat, go across the scale, they get paid. My conscience is health conscious. Even for nobody but my family. If they call me and say, Dad, you got some meat? Yep, got something in the freezer. I get it out of. I get it back. One day I'm gonna catch you slipping, and you're gonna show up, and I'm gonna put your butt to work and get some work out you. So I get a day's work. I'll be watching when they show up. My kids show up now. They'll show up in some short pants or some knowing working clothes. I'm like, yeah, I still got something for you.
They'll come prepared next time.
Yeah, I still got something for you. I got some extra boots. Hey man, go grab them boots in my pair of jeans right there. Come on, I need you to help me pull this hip fence and help me do this. You know. No, don't show up to the farm, 'cause I put you to work in a hot minute. I always, Pop, what you got going? Man, don't even ask me that. Don't ask what I got going. I got something. So
There's always something.
I got something. Just come, show up. They don't want to show up because I find something quick. I'm glad you're here. You see that pile of wood over there? I need all that. Pull from one there and put it on the trailers, for me, so.
You had mentioned earlier before we sat down here that there's a real rich history here of agriculture. Mm-hmm. Is it a little bit north of here? Or
No, it's 6 miles up the road, Tuskegee.
Okay.
Tuskegee University, that's where the George Washington Carver museum is. And he's the one that, they praise him for the peanut. But he was way more than just the peanut. He trained and showed people how to rotate crop. Because farmer was just plant cotton. And then the production go down. So he actually showed them, listen, you plant this, then you plant your potatoes, then you plant your peanuts, then you plant this, then you bring the crop back. So you rotate crop to let these crops do that. He created that. He didn't just create it. He did the peanut, a lot of different things with the oils and all that with peanuts, but that was his thing, was how peanut would regenerate your soil, recuperate it from your corn, taking out all your phosphorus and stuff on your soil. He did all that. So yeah, it's high history between Booker T. Washington. That Booker T. did the same thing. He created, he founded Tuskegee University. Mm-hmm. It's a school of engineering at Tuskegee University. His you heard the story about how he got the get the investors to invest in it.
I don't know the story.
All right. Well, so Booker T. Washington basically told the white investors, the white people that need the money, he said, listen, what you got to do is get a school so we can train these black folk how to work better for you. So we can train them how to be better production workers. So we get to school, we can train them to be better farmers, better this. So, okay, so they gave them money to school because it's supposed to be a school of agriculture. We're going to train them to be farmers. We're going to train them to be farm workers. So he got all this money invested. So but between that, he created engineers and all this good stuff. The engineers from Tuskegee went up in New York, and they one who built the Harlem. They designed Harlem from Tuskegee University engineers. Wow, so he was brilliant on how he had to get things happen. Mm-hmm. You need workers, but we got to train them to get this university here. And so now we can get them to train them how they can train you better workers. So that's how he ended up getting money to fund that school. Mm-hmm. So that school is as big as it's got a lot of stuff going on. From there, then you got the Airmen that was right down the street there, mm-hmm. right there in Tuskegee also. If you guys had time, that museum is awesome to go find out a lot about it. Got a nice museum right there on campus.
Boy, I wish I should have thought about that before.
Yeah. And I've been here all my life after, in and out. And I only I just visited a couple years ago. Oh, really? And it blew my mind. I was like, I thought I knew. I knew it because I went to school and they taught us, showed us everything, seeing everything. But to go to the museum is like, wow. It's really. I went to Carver quite a few times, but the Airman Museum was even amazing. Mm-hmm. Yep, pretty good.
Well, we have covered a whole broad stretch of things here, and it was super interesting to hear your story, and I just want to thank you for taking the time, sitting down with us. Really hope things go well for you in the future, and just thanks for taking the time to host us.
Appreciate it, man. Maybe people in Ohio will find out how the country boys do it down here in Alabama.
That's why we're here.
We still got a few black farmers running around.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on.
All right.